How long does it take you to create a fragrance?
Well,
on average?
An average is between 3 days and 10 years.
Okay. So, would you say that Terre de Hérmes is like your biggest accomplishment in your career?
What? But Hérmes was a surprise for me. Hérmes was a surprise for me.
Why a surprise? Bienvenidos a otro video de MrFelix. Ven el privilegio que tengo aquí de estar con Master Perfumer Jean-Claude Ellena en Cannes, en su departamento. Sir, thank you very much for having us in your very nice apartment. You know, I'm a big fan of your work, and so does a lot of people, like everybody in Mexico loves what you do. So it's an honor to be here with you. I have a few questions I would like to ask you. And the first one is, what fragrance are you wearing right now?
I'm not wearing fragrance.
I thought so. Why is that?
The main reason is because if I wear a fragrance, I smell myself.
Right.
And this disturbs my work because I'm always working on a new project, on a new perfume. And if I smell my thing, what I put on myself, this disturbs what I'm doing. And because I smell it and I say, oh, well, I don't want to smell it. I want to focus on what I'm working.
On what you're working.
Yeah.
But like in off days when you're not working, do you wear
I'm always working.
You're always working. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, and it's funny because when I meet perfumers and like creative directors, I always ask them that, and most of them say they're not wearing anything. And we, you know, as a fragrance aficionados, we're always, you know, pouring ourselves with stuff.
I mean, my pleasure is to create perfume for the other.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I have a pleasure to work for me, but of course, but the thing is, the pleasure to work for the other and to make perfume for the other. And so mainly it's, so I never wear perfume.
Right.
And another reason is because if I don't wear perfume, it's moment for me to be quiet, to be...
on your own, yeah, I get it. Now, let me ask you something else. Do you think perfume is an art or a product?
It depends the brand.
Oh, depends on the brand?
Yeah, right. Of course, yeah. But the thing is, I believe that perfume is an art.
All right.
And some brands use perfume as a product, and they sell perfume as a product. So my position is an art. Mainly, it's a work of spirit. I think the perfume before I create it.
All right.
So I have in my mind the perfume what I want to do, and I have to create on paper. So I write the formula on the paper, and with the time, with step by step, the perfume is coming. The perfume.
Right.
So because there's a work of the mind, it's an art.
It's an art.
It's not a product.
For you, it's an art.
It's an art, yeah.
People say it's an art, some other people say it's a business, you know, because at the end of the day you have to make
But art is business also.
Le Couvent is an art as well, then? Yeah, Le Couvent is art.
Oui, of course, yeah,
yes.
For me mainly. Yeah.
I love that answer, that's the best answer. That I was hoping for him to give me that answer. Now, you as a perfumer, what's your job? What do you do?
My job every day is to find a new accord, a new perfume, a new way to think different odors, to mix odors. All the time my mind is on smell, on odors, and what I can do, how I can do something different when they don't exist on the market. So this is my job, to think a new way.
It's not only mixing the things, right?
No, well, mixing it's a result.
Right.
It's not the thinking.
Oh yeah, so a perfumer's work is more the thinking rather than the mixing.
Well, the mixing is at the end.
Right.
But the beginning, you have to think about it, what you want to do. And when you know what you want to do, you can realize, because you don't make by what you call hazard, you know, by like that.
You don't do that ever?
No,
like you mix something
no,
by accident?
No, there are no accidents.
It's very expensive to do that, right?
No, there are no accidents. You have to think about it. And if you think really well, you realize what you want to do. Sometimes it takes few days, sometimes it takes few years.
All right.
But always you have to think about it.
How long does it take you to create a fragrance? Like on average?
An average is between 3 days and 10 years.
Okay. So that's a huge, so 10 years has been the longest?
Yeah, the longest, well, yeah.
Wow, that's a very long time.
That was the main. Well, the reason is because what I was doing was not enough. Was what I want really. So I say, okay, that's not exactly what I want. So I put it on the side, and a few months later, I came back and work again. No, it's not enough. So I put it on the side, and so, you know, step by step, like that. So it's not a work every day. It's a work. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you work. Yeah. I get it. I get it. When you create something, I don't think it's ever finished, because artists, they're like, no, it's not finished yet. I have to add some more. I have to add some more. Yeah. So when do you know it's finished? When do you know it's complete?
When I have no more idea.
When it's
well, this one is for the moment finished, because I have nothing to add, nothing to put away. Well, it's finished.
It's finished. Yeah.
The thing terrible is maybe 1 year or 2 years later you say,
I could have done something.
Yeah.
That happens to you?
This, of course, this happened to me.
But that often, no.
Not often, but this
sometimes happens.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about Le Couvent now.
Yeah.
My favorite perfume from the entire house is Hatay.
Yeah.
I love that. My girlfriend, she wears it like a lot, you know, sweet and that sort of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest like difference between Le Couvent and other brands? Because there are so many brands out there. So why should people, you know, test your fragrance and try them out?
Well, the thing is, the big difference here, it's there's no marketing.
Okay.
The collection is selected by a perfumer. The approach is the approach of perfumery and the approach of the perfumer, and not the approach of marketing. Because if you made an approach of marketing, I mean, marketing are looking about what people love.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look about what people love.
You just do it in...
I do what I love.
That's
I do what I like.
That's a privilege, you know.
Yeah, it's a privilege. It's a big privilege. But at the end, I have to seduce someone.
Exactly.
And so I know what I'm doing.
Right, yes, of course. I mean, you're Jean-Claude Ellena.
And this makes a big difference, because I don't analyze the market. I do what I feel, what I see, what will be the future, and I put on the bottle.
And then people love it and buy it, and they go
for the
crazy.
Moment, yes.
For the moment, yes. Well, I mean, you're like one of the greatest of all time, so yeah, so not for the moment, but
for the moment it works.
For the moment it works. So I want to talk to you about Hatay.
Yeah.
So what was the story behind it? You know, because that's more like a personal question to me, because I love it so much. Yeah, that's just my favorite from... Let me smell it again, because I love it, I love it. So how did you came up with this?
Well, it's
Can I spray it?
Of course, okay? You can spray, of course. Yes, sure. Can I?
It's beautiful, huh?
Thank you.
You like it? You like this one?
Of course I like it.
I think it's a nice one, yeah.
It's a nice one.
You should be the perfumer, he's a nice guy.
Of course I love all the product I've done, but when it's finished, and I'm working on a new one.
Right.
So I'm always working on a new project, and the past is the past, and I don't look anymore with the past. I love, like it's because it's my baby, and you love your baby.
Exactly.
And what is more important for me, it's the future. So what I'm working on, because here I have a lot of problems. This problem was finished. It was already done. I mean, that story was already done. So
this is amazing. I mean, it's the best. I love it. I love it.
Good.
Yeah, because it has like a very sweet accord and kind of a very good mount. Yeah.
With a very amber accord.
Yeah, I smell it. That's just amazing.
I love it. Yeah, and it's still mysterious because you don't know exactly what it is.
And it's amazing because sometimes when I do events in Mexico City, you know, I take this with me and I show it to people. And out of the whole collection, this is most of the time the one that gets the attention. Like this in Mexico is very popular.
Well, the thing is, but you say something very important there, because every time when I create the film, the thing is, I try to be simple in the way I write formula. Simple because I know if I am simple, people can recognize it and people can understand what I try to do.
Right.
It's like a message what is very clear. And if you are confused when you are making a perfume, if your perfume is very confused, there are too many things, people don't understand what I've done.
Simple is better.
Simple is better. But simple is difficult because it don't work any time.
Yes, I have always said the simple is when you put order to the complex.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, great. Great, that's great. So I have just a couple more questions for you.
Okay, good.
The next one is about, because in the industry, when a fragrance is released, they don't give credit to the perfumer, because...
I know.
What do you think of that? Do you think perfumers should get more recognition? Or
of course, yes.
Yes?
Of course, yes, because who can talk better than the perfumer? He knows what he has done. And he can talk about what he has done, what he was thinking, what he want to try, what he want to do. This is better than publicity.
Exactly, yeah, because I've met some perfumers and they sign even like a thing where they cannot say publicly that they have made a fragrance, and I think that's very sad.
It's very sad, of course it's very sad. It's like if you're a painter and you don't say, what, I made a painting.
Yeah, and the other guy takes the credit for it.
And the other, that's right.
Yeah, it's a bit...
This is quite stupid.
Would you say that Terre de Hérmes is like your biggest accomplishment in your career?
What? But Hérmes was a surprise for me. Hérmes was a surprise for me.
Why a surprise?
The surprise is when I've created Terre de Hérmes, I know that I've made a good perfume.
It was like, like any other day.
Like the other.
Yeah, okay.
And suddenly become a success. And always I said, it's the public who gives the success, not the perfumer. And the public will decide for the success. You do your best, you do what you think is the best thing, and you put this on the market, and suddenly something happened.
But it was... So it was a surprise for you that fragrance...
Of course it was a surprise. It's a good surprise, but it's a surprise.
Of course a good surprise. Yeah, sometimes they're good surprises, sometimes bad surprises.
That's right. Sometimes you say, what, we don't understand what I've done.
yeah. And let me just one final question.
Yeah.
Because the people who are watching us, they're collectors and they love fragrances. Yeah. And sometimes they have huge collections, like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Do you think you can have, or one can have, too many fragrances?
No, I think it's good to have a few fragrances. Like this, you can change depending what you call your feeling, what you call humeur. What you feel.
Yeah, how do you feel and stuff.
But I'm sure that every time you have one you prefer.
Like a favorite one.
You have a favorite one, and this favorite one will stay all your life.
Exactly.
Maybe you forget once, but you go back one.
Yeah, it stays on the back.
Yeah, it stays on the back.
And then it comes out.
Of course.
And that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
It was your love.
Yeah, Jean-Claude, it's been an honor to meet you. Thank you very much. Or maybe I should call you Monsieur Ellena. I don't know. I'm sorry about that.
Jean-Claude is okay.
Jean-Claude, thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very good. Good, no?